So
good for you. Good for
Okay,
you.
I'm gonna get started here. I'm gonna record this. There's a couple people that can't make it. I have a friend named Stormy who works in the evening and she wanted to do it. So I'm going to try to record it and see how that works and then share it with whoever can't make it.
Hi, Stormy.
everybody, hi, Stormy.
That's right. And Molly. Molly's the other one.
Yeah, hi, Molly.
Oh, hey, Molly.
So at least we get to see all the faces, right?
Yeah.
So I want to welcome everybody, and I'm going to try to share my screen and see how this works. I don't know what it looks like when I share my screen. And let's see. It's desktop. Oh, here it is. I got to get back over. I got to change my Chrome back to where I want to be. Okay. Where are you? Let's see if it goes to.
You guys will watch me drinking and drinking, drinking. My throat is still sore. Ugh.
There we go.
That's good, Nance.
Oh, yep.
Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Can you
Yep,
see the Weight Loss God's Way?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yep. Yes.
Perfect. Okay, well, we'll see how this all works. I'm kind of excited to do this with you guys. Let's just start with a prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for bringing this group of women together. Thank you for guiding me as I take on this this little book study and help it be as meaningful to them as it has been for me. Be with us this week and this next 21 days that we all get something out of what we're doing here. So thank you, Lord, for being with us. Amen.
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 So we've kind of done the next one. You should be able to see your participants, and there is a mute button. So if you can find the mute button, it's often easy, especially if you have any background noise. If you can mute yourself, if you notice you've got like the dogs barking or whatever's going on, if you can mute it and then unmute it when it's time to, if you have something that you want to say. I did notice that somewhere in here, there's this thing where you can raise your hand. I don't know how that works necessarily, so we'll see. There is a camera button too, so you can turn your camera on or off if that's something you need to do. There's also a chat. And so one of the things I thought would be interesting is if we could find the chat. I don't know if I can see that.
I don't know when you have that up if we can touch any of our stuff. Our stuff is, oh no, maybe there it is. Wait, let's see.
There we go. Yeah, you have to kind of work around it. I was going to see if I could find.
There, Audrey just did it.
There.
Yeah. It's at the bottom for me in the middle. I don't know if you guys have the same kind of screen as I do.
Okay, Marilyn just said yes. I can see hers.
So what are you touching to get your, Audrey, to get your little note, and Lori?
What am I doing?
Just move your cursor all the way to the bottom of your screen and you'll get a black bar, and in that black bar there's a word that says participants, chat, share screen, record. Just go to chat and a little window will come up.
If you have iPad, it might have 3 dots and say more.
Yes,
So
Okay,
what
that's
mine
what mine says.
and it gives several options for raise hand, chat.
There you
Oh,
go.
I see. Yep. So okay. So you hit chat, and then you can say whatever. Tap here to chat, or tap a message to reply.
Yep.
Oops. Oh, okay.
So if you want to type something in there just so that you can, and then see if you can see.
Okay.
Yeah,
the-
Cheryl, yours
did.
came up. Yeah.
Yeah, did it come up? Okay. Okay.
I haven't seen Carol's yet.
Yeah, mine and Carol, I haven't seen Carol show up yet either.
Mine came up, Carol came up on mine. Did mine come up on anybody's?
Yeah, it says to
Nancy, yeah,
Nancy.
yours came up.
It says
Mine?
privately to you, Nancy. For
Oh,
some
then
Yeah,
reason.
change it. See if you can change it to everyone.
Yours just came to me.
Yeah, okay, that's what happened. Okay, just a minute. Let me see if I can get everyone. Chat.
Can you
It says
see the
me-
chat pic on my screen or not?
Pardon?
Yeah, you can tap, if you tap on your screen, it works. It comes down, yeah.
Oh, but can you see my chat window on here or not?
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
I can't.
Okay, but I can see you guys and I can see the chat. That's cool. Yeah, make sure it goes to everyone.
Right
So
on the
that-
very bottom, Carol, it says send to everyone.
Oh,
Okay. Oh, on the very bottom it says, mine says send to Nancy Melby's.
Well, you touch that and it should,
Oh,
you should be able to
okay.
choose everyone.
Oh, okay. Everyone got
Everybody
it.
is
I've got it.
So
There.
Val,
There
did
we
you?
go.
Oh, Val figured it out.
Yay.
Yep, Val got it too.
So,
Okay. Ooh, I know.
Okay.
when I
Yeah,
click on the chat, I don't get anywhere to type in the message.
it's down
But
at
I'm
the
getting
very,
everybody else's message
is it down at the very bottom?
Yeah.
down at the bottom, but nothing. Where do I type in the message?
Mine says
Debbie-
to everyone and then it says type message.
Type
here.
message here.
Did you hit more, Debbie, down at the bottom?
I don't
With
know
the-
what I
the
did.
three
I
little
just hit, but
dots?
I just lost all of you.
Oh, I can see you. I can see you, Deb.
Yeah.
So how do I get everything back then?
Just keep touching stuff.
that's what
Now I'm
I did.
back-
Look
Now
for,
I'm back to my,
yeah,
are you
mine,
there?
yep, we can see, we can hear you. I can see you. I can see you.
I can't see anything.
Look and see
What
if
is
you
it?
can, you may have, mine shows, show action, active speaker video.
What are you on, Deb?
Mine says hide.
All I see on mine is Zoom.
So
Deb, what are you on? A computer or an iPad?
A computer, yeah.
Okay.
scroll up to the top or all the way to the bottom and see if there's a bar that comes up.
So can I just try to click to go back? Or is that going to disconnect me?
If you get disconnected, you can reconnect and everything will come up the way it was supposed to. So that's an option if you can't get it to go back to showing our faces.
Yeah, that's a really good option.
I
Sometimes,
gotcha. I got you. I'm back. I don't know how I get in. It isn't showing me a space to chat. I can click
Okay.
on the chat, but it doesn't show me anything. So
That's
Okay.
okay. You can just chat to us live.
you can just talk.
yeah, I'll just talk.
Okay.
I
And then-
don't type very
other part I
fast
wanted to
anyway,
say-
so it's better if I just talk.
Oh, I think I can put an ocean behind me
Oh, come on. Here we are.
now that I'm exploring.
That's the whole idea, right? We all do something here.
Virtual background.
So I thought maybe I could tell you a little bit about why I'm doing this. So about a year ago, I think in July, I think I started thinking, I went to a family reunion and somebody took some pictures and I went, holy cow, I'm really heavy. But maybe I'm okay. Maybe everything is good. You know, I can, this isn't so bad. So I've been doing YouVersion on the YouVersion Bible app. There's a bunch of devotionals, and I found this one called Weight Loss God's Way, and I picked it out and I started it. And on that one, you can either start by yourself or you can start with, you can invite other people to do it with you. Well, I said, well, I'm not sure I want to do this. So I didn't tell Ron I was doing it. I just said, well, I'll read through it and I'll see if this is something that maybe is pertinent, something I want to do. So that was in July, and it, you know, this was a 21-day devotional. I think I did it a little bit and then I wouldn't do it for a little while, and then I'd go back and start over again. It took me until November to do 21-day, to do a 21-day challenge. And by the time I got done, I think I had lost, I think I'd lost about 10 pounds maybe, but I'd gotten under 200 pounds, which was huge. And so I thought, well, this seems like it's worth doing. I think what I really liked about the 21-day challenge, which is pretty much what this book is that it was just these little tiny steps. You know, it's like one thing to think about and pray about during the day. It was one thing to kind of, you know, focus on and kind of do that piece. And so in November, when I finished the 21-day, the first one, then I actually went to their website and I joined their group. And I think the part that I appreciate about that group, so I've been doing that since November, and I think that what I appreciate about that one is that there's a community. There's people who are in the same situation I'm in, or even, you know, even have more challenges in some cases, and some have less. But I think what I've really appreciated is it's very based on God's word, and it takes that daily devotional piece to do that. And I've lost 47 pounds so far.
Yay, nice job.
So, anyway, that's kind of why I did this. And so then I've been doing it. And then, so in January, they started this one called 365, which is, it's a whole year-long program. And every month she's got a different challenge and a different kind of an emphasis on it. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a little while. So this is just a beginning, and I'll tell you more about the book in a bit. So I think it would be fun if we could, if you could introduce yourself. And we know, I think we all live in Missoula, so you don't need to do that one. But if you want to talk a little bit about what's your biggest challenge in losing weight, and what are some of the challenges and the stresses that you're facing right now in your, I'll start with my biggest challenges. I think my biggest challenges for a long time were just snacks and chocolate and sweets. Those are like my biggest challenge. That's been the hardest thing to try to get through and get over and get rid of and not do. And I think the challenges and stresses right now really have a lot to do with just COVID and, you know, what's going to happen. Bethany starts kindergarten in a couple weeks, and what's all that going to look like, and how's that going to change what we do with our life, and just kind of supporting my children. I guess those are kind of my big challenge. So I'm just going to go down my picture and set of pictures here. So I'm going to start with Deb. Do you want to?
Well, I think, you know, one of my biggest challenges is snacking as well, that I eat mindlessly. You know, I'm not even hungry, and I'll just decide, I'll just eat something. And my challenges are sweet things and salty things, and trying to get past feeling like I need to eat those during the day. So I can identify with you, Nancy. And I think that the challenges and stresses are pretty much the things that you're talking about, family issues, and, you know, having to take care of the needs of other people as well as your needs. And so sometimes your needs get kind of put at the bottom of the list. And then the challenges right now of of the COVID crisis and what we're having to, you know, how our life has to change because of the pandemic, our daily lives have to change. And I think those stresses, you know, add to just my mindless eating during the day.
Okay. Lori.
I think along with what you two have said already is the snacking, but also being diabetic and on insulin, you get that, I call it a diabetic belly. And no matter what you do, you just can't seem to get rid of that diabetic belly. And it's, you know, Mom had it quite badly, and I always told myself when I was younger that I'll never let that happen to me. Well, here I am, and I have it, and I've lost a lot of weight, but I can't seem to get any further at this point, and just I think that's the diabetes is a huge stressor, and caregiving is a stressor, and I've fallen back into my old ways of eating, of like Deb said, the sweet and salty, and so I'm struggling.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Nancy Milby.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we look like we're all on the same page, that we're all struggling with the sweets and salty and the snacking and stuff like that. And probably my biggest challenge is that my husband, who shouldn't be eating this stuff, likes to have a lot of this stuff around. And I have banished most of it to his shop. But he has mint Oreo cookies in the drawer right now. If they weren't there, I wouldn't eat them, you know? And I've been pretty good about it, but I kind of struggle. And my weight's been up and down for the last 10 years. I've lost 100 pounds twice, and I seem to keep gaining it back. And of course, during this COVID time with the additional stress also, we haven't seen our kids or our grandkids much at all. And now I've got 2 sons that are overseas. And just, I have a little more time on my hands, you know? Like I said, I've been reading a lot, but I seem to want to sit down and read and, you know, be doing this while I'm reading, putting stuff in my mouth. So I got to get past, you know, that, be able to sit down and read and know that I don't have to be eating something, you know, whether it be sweet or salty or something, you know. And most part, I try and be pretty good about it, but lately it just seems like it's getting away from me again. So I'm here wanting to be in a group that has support, you know, so I think that's a good thing. I've done Weight Watchers, and I feel like group support is huge. And so I think it'll be nice for us to be here as a group.
All right, Marilyn.
I sure appreciate that everybody is willing to do this, because I gained 12 pounds in March and April, and I already needed to lose weight before that. So I think my stressor really came, and I began to address like feeling like a victim in the early part of May, and I've been gradually trying to, like, you'll see me drinking a lot of tea instead of snacking. And, you know, I'm substituting no calories and water for the oral satisfaction. So, but I need help with all the other stuff. I've lost 3 pounds. So it's a beginning. I tried to do walking, but I have a bad hip, and it threw my hip out when I was going uphill, and I was so proud I was doing that, and then I couldn't walk for 3 days. So I think my biggest challenge is, what can I do with the physical limitation, a few physical limitations that I have, and mentally just get myself in the spot where I need to be. So I appreciate all of you guys doing this.
Okay, Audrey.
Okay, unlike all the rest of you, I am not in Missoula. I am in Florence, out here in the Bitterroot Valley, all by my lonely. But, and that's why I'm so grateful for Zoom and these groups where we can meet, because I have missed you guys. Like everyone else, I really struggle with sweets, not the salt, hardly at all, but sweets. I could eat candy and cake and bread until I pop. It's really weird. I crossed the Montana border a year and a half ago, and I instantly gained 10 pounds.
The elevation.
It's a drop in elevation because I went from 5,400 feet to 3,200 feet. So I don't know. I don't know. That's really bizarre. And it has been so hard. I am working so hard on this ranch, you know, with the horses and building things and changing things. And you would think I would lose weight, but I am not. I'm struggling to. I was 10 pounds overweight when I got here, and then I got here and I gained 10 more. So I have about 15, 20 pounds I really want to lose. Challenges and stresses. I've really struggled with COVID, being out here, not knowing that many people. And then the one thing that I did find, a group of similar-minded people I can't go to anymore, church. So I've really been struggling with isolation. I'm a very social person, and being out here by myself or not by myself, with just me and Kelly has been really hard. We have some wonderful neighbors, and we're very close with them, and we see them. And then, of course, my son in Missoula, I see him about once a week, once every week and a half or two, something like that. So just the isolation and the uncertainty in the world have really hit me hard, I guess.
Thank you. Can you guys see each other as well as my screen, or did you just?
One at a time, we see who's
Yes.
talking.
Okay.
One at a time.
Okay, good. Just wondered what was recording, just for people who may not know all you guys. So, okay, Carol.
My biggest challenge is I love to cook. And I was a home ec teacher, and so it's always been part of my nature, and that's very difficult for me. My husband in May had a stroke, and he also is diabetic. And through all of his tests that he had to go through, the doctors decided they had to really work on his diabetes. And so my daughter, when I was over in Tacoma, came home for a few days with him, and they went to a nutritionist. And so the girls, when Jim came back to Tacoma, my two daughters really got on the bandwagon with him. And we talked about carbohydrates, and Kristen talked about what the nutritionist said. And that has been a very big help to me. And my big challenge is, like you guys, I like to cook and I like to make desserts. And so I just haven't, since I've come home, I just have not done that. Plus I've not enjoyed food, which has been a wonderful blessing. I've had a terrible taste in my mouth. Even water is just starting to taste good. So that has really helped me. So I'm using these, my health issues that I've had to deal with to hopefully help me lose some more weight. I was telling Deb and Nancy, through all this, I've lost 20 pounds. So
Oh, wow.
I want to keep going. So, but my challenges are just like yours. And like I said, I love to cook. So I'm just cooking different things, meat, a lot of protein.
Yeah.
And we've discovered some things that, have really helped Jim too. And he's doing really well. His blood sugars I'm really proud of him. So he's doing a good job. So he's a big help to me.
Well, it really helps when you have somebody in the house that's with you on it. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Val.
And this group, I think this group is just absolutely great. I agree with all of you. I think when we have group support, it really, really does help. So I'm very thankful to be here.
All right. Valerie. Miss Valerie.
Okay, well, you guys have pretty much covered it by now. No, one of my challenges is being by myself. When you're by yourself, you don't want to cook or do anything, you know what I mean? You just want to get something easy and be done and not have to worry about it. And I think if I liked cooking more often, then I can cook more protein and healthier food. And then, you know, I wouldn't want to go and snack or get the wrong kind of lean cuisine or something like that. So being a diabetic is hard. I have sugar cravings being a diabetic. Snacking, you know, sometimes I snack when I'm not even hungry. A lot of the times I eat when I'm dehydrated and I should drink water instead of eating. So now I've noticed the difference between dehydration and hunger. I'm paying closer attention to my body and my signals and what it's trying to tell me. I'm also in a TOPS weight loss support group, and right now we're not meeting because of COVID. So, you know, that doesn't help when you can't meet your fellow supporters that are having the same issues. So this is a good thing that we're doing here. It kind of replaces me not being able to go to my TOPS program. And TOPS is a weight loss support group. It stands for Taking Off Pounds Sensibly. And they have a group that meets in Missoula and in the Bitterroot. Yeah. And my mental health, that has a lot to do with my depression, and then that has a lot to do with what I eat and how much I eat.
And last but not least.
Are you good? Can you all hear me?
Yep, can hear you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Nancy Solom.
Well, the main thing is the fear of becoming a diabetic, because my mother and my youngest brother both are diabetics. My mother's passed away. My youngest brother is quite sick with his. The challenges of being inactive, not active enough, and yet you say, well, you know, you got to get out and ride your bike, you got to walk the treadmill, you got to do this, you got to do that. It's become kind of commonplace to get up in the morning and have coffee, read the paper, check my email, check Facebook, bang, it's noon. What have I done this morning? Not a thing. The stresses, I worry about my health. After my episode last year at FLBC, that was quite scary. And I also worry about Dick's health. And we both have gained weight over this COVID. I weigh once about every 2 weeks, and I maintain about within 1 to 2 pounds all the time. My weight doesn't go down. Snacking issues. If it isn't ice cream, it's a pudding cup with whipped cream on it. Sometimes cookies, chips or snack bars when we travel. All those things add up. So I consciously today, I had my breakfast, I had lunch, I had no snack during the day, and I had my dinner before 7. So I thought, well, that's an accomplishment in itself.
Right. Yep. All right.
So it's
And I'm
basically, you know, trying to find a good support system and someone to take this seriously with me. That's probably the biggest thing. I've got to drop some weight. It depresses me more than I even let on.
Yeah.
Nancy Marks, thank you so much for doing this for all of us. We really appreciate it, by the way.
Yes.
You are welcome.
Yes, we do.
Nancy.
Ditto.
You're welcome. Well, let me tell you a little bit. Oops, I meant this one. A little bit. Where is it? Okay, so here's some of the things that you will need. One of the things I thought after listening to you folks, one of the other big things that made a difference for me when I actually did the weight loss, besides joining the community, was I told Ron that I wanted to lose weight, and he had always told me, you know how fit Ron is, or you know, he's not a snacker. He doesn't like, you know, sweets or any of those kinds of things, and that just like goes, really? How can that be? But but he has been a huge support, and just having that person there to kind of bounce ideas off of, and I mean, he's the cook in the family, so I really rely on a lot of those things too. So I hear what some of you guys are saying. You know, it just makes it does make a big difference if you're in it together. So what you'll need to do this 21 days is a copy of the book. And Marilyn, you said you hadn't got yours yet.
Yeah.
I have a couple extra books that I ordered just in case. So if you want to come by tomorrow and pick one up, you can sure borrow it. And then when you get yours, you can just trade me or whatever.
Okay.
Everybody else have a book?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
I borrowed one from the office.
Oh, good. Good.
Mine's supposed to come on the 20th.
Okay. And you got the one from the office?
I did, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but you have one now. Okay, good. I've got a couple more in case somebody needs them. So I just ordered a few extras, just knowing this was the way it was, just because I know how sometimes they come and sometimes they don't. And then the other thing I think that has been helpful for me is just a journal, just a notebook. It can be just a, I don't know, I've used like this size. I don't know if I can see myself here, so I can.
Yeah, I can see it.
Can you see it?
Yeah,
You know,
I can see
it
it.
doesn't have to, or like even smaller than this. It doesn't even have to be very big. And I'll talk a little bit more about the journal part a little bit later. So, oops. So those are really the only things that you need for the thing. A little bit of overview of the program. The program was developed. She wrote this book originally wrote it in 2008. She lives in Toronto, and she's a trainer. She's been a trainer since the 90s. She has this wonderful voice. They do these group, kind of like what we're doing, about well, they actually do a Bible study every Saturday, but I don't do those because that's usually a day we're doing something. But she's got a wonderful voice to listen to. She's just kind of a delightful person. But she also talks about the fact that even though she's a great writer and she's a trainer, that she still, even after all these years and all knowing all this stuff, she still struggles. But she really said she had a lot of people that she worked with as a trainer, and there was just always seemed to be something missing. And what she finally decided was that what was missing was her faith, and the focus being on submitting the whole journey to God and trusting God to let it go, let it go and say, let it go. She has a 3-part. She really thinks about your physical body, and you talk about your mental body and your spiritual body, and how all those things come together to really make a difference in that whole piece. And so I think that's the one thing that attracted it to me. I also attracted to me that there's a devotion. There's just a daily quiet devotion that you can do. Just something to think about. Then the other piece, I think, is community and having people to share your thoughts and your concerns. She has written, I don't know how many more courses. She has lots of different courses on her website. The courses, the membership, there is a cost, but one of the things that I discovered is that, a cost makes me be accountable, because I'm putting some money out there. That means I should be doing something about it. So I really appreciate, and she has tons, and when we get to the end of this, I'll give you a little tour of her website. She has exercise videos, she has menus, she has all kinds of things on her website if you join to take one of the programs that she has to offer, and she offers all different kinds of courses. So it's I think this is a great place to start, just to see if this is something you're interested in. But I really think I love it, because I actually wake up in the morning and go, oh, I wonder what she's going to talk about today. And usually it's something just so basic that I can just say, okay, what am I going to think about for the rest of the day? So, and it's not, it's not like a lot of reading, and she's got music built into things. And so the overview of the program, there's 21 days. There's a daily devotion. It may take you 15 to 30 minutes. It's all whatever you want to put into it. It takes me about 15 minutes or so in the morning. We'll do these weekly Zoom meetings. At first I was going to do it from 7 to 8, and then I thought, well, let's just schedule it from 7 to 8:30, and then if you have to bow out, that's okay. If you need to get out of something, but we'll do that. The other thing I would really suggest that you do is, well, I think you really should do is weigh on Wednesday. And what I did was I took like the last page in my journal, and I just started the date and what I weighed. Because even though you think about what you weighing, it's good data to kind of just follow that. And it's been really kind of exciting to go back and go, oh, well, look, in this last month, I lost 5 pounds or 4 pounds or whatever it was. And you can look at it and you can celebrate. One of the things that she does talk about is it isn't going to be like a downhill swoop. It's more like a da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You go pretty well, and then you might go up, and then you might go down. But just having a place to write that down is huge. It also helps me be more accountable to myself to say, okay, well, I'm going to weigh on Wednesday. Ron says to me last night, he says, well, I guess we got to watch what we're having tonight. But it's one of those things. The other thing I would say is, I didn't start this until later, but I wish I would have started earlier. Take your measurements. And I only do it like on the 1st of the month. I used to do it the 1st and the 15th, but there wasn't usually. That was kind of depressing because it didn't seem like there was that much of a change. But take your bust and your waist and your hips and your thigh, and take a measurement of those and write them down, and then kind of track it. It was kind of exciting for me. I looked at it the other day when I did my August, and I'd lost like 8 inches in my hips,
Wow.
which was huge. I mean, and then I also write what size pants I wear, because I started with like a 16 and I'm down to a 10. It was like, yes.
Wow.
Some of them aren't weight, they're not pounds. They're not a scale gain, something that a challenge. It's really it's like you might lose a few more inches. I don't know why I have WE in there, but those might be things I would say. That's a useful thing, just to have it. Having that data is just kind of is a good challenge, just to have that. And because sometimes it feels like, oh, nothing, I'm going nowhere. But then you might get on the scale, or you might take your measurement and you go, oh, well, I lost a little bit here. And then, you feel that kind of that excitement for that. Any questions about that part? About the overview?
I don't really have a question.
Yeah.
But what another weight loss group that I was part of last year called things like your measurements and pants that you fit in that you didn't fit in for a long time. They called them non-scale victories.
Yeah.
And those are really important to keep a track of.
Yeah. I like that. I'm going to write that down. Non-scale victories. I've heard that too as they were talking about, because it's like, oh my gosh, you know, even though I'm not at the weight that I'd love to be at, I got to buy a new pair of pants. So that's exciting. So the daily devotion is designed, really think about trying to find a time that works for you to do this, do it at the same time every day. She really recommends preferably first thing in the morning. I really like it first thing in the morning, but sometimes my days are so busy because the grandkids are coming on the days that that's happening. And it's so hot later in the day that we need to get out and we go for a walk every morning. So sometimes I go for a walk and then I come back and I'll find that time period. Sometimes I just read the devotion and then I don't do my reflection until later. And like even when I'm walking, we get up and we walk every morning. Some days longer than others. Some days, you know, it's just 15 minutes. Well, right now we're up to 30 minutes minimum a day. But when we started, it was like 15 or 20 minutes, and just getting up and getting out and doing that. And Ron and I do it together, and it's been really good for our relationship. We spend that time talking and kind of planning our day and what it is we're going to do. But the idea behind your daily lesson or your daily devotion is to find a time that works. And if you miss a day, don't worry. Don't stress about it. You don't have to feel guilty. You just don't have to, life happens these days, and try to get back on track the next day. And if you're able to catch up, great. It might take you, 40 days to do a 21 day, but you'll know next week we'll be talking about it. So you'll have a little bit of accountability, but don't rush through it. That's the journey is really about the process. It's about going through and doing it. I love that part about when she talked about the fact that it's to do it as a, don't feel guilty if something comes up, because life does come up, but find a good time to do it. So thinking about that, what's a good time? Let's try to use the chat and see if you can, what time do you think is going to work for you to do your devotions? Maybe write something in the chat. Oops. And you don't have to stick by this. You're not bound to it. I'm not going to come check on you. Okay, Audrey says 7:30 a.m. till she finds a job. Valerie, coffee time. Good. Deb, did you ever find it?
I can't find it, so probably morning time will work for me, mid-morning probably.
Mid-afternoon?
I need to autocorrect change some of my words.
When it's Aggie time? Is that what were you going to say?
Well, board will be a good time, it should say.
Oh, a good
I don't know
time.
what happened.
Okay. You think
Yeah, because I get bored in the afternoon. I do a Bible study already in the morning, but in the afternoon I get bored, and that's when I tend to want to eat. So that'd be a good time to do it. Yeah.
Okay. Lori says 8 o'clock after dog potty, coffee made, etc. Yeah, that's good. Who else who haven't heard from?
I'm coming.
Okay.
I said 8 a.m.
Okay.
Oh, Nancy, it went to you again. Now, why does it do that?
Oh, because you love me so much.
I guess. I missed you while I was gone.
Well,
Okay.
Carol said early in the morning after breakfast, just so everyone else knows.
Okay. Thank you. Now that you're talking behind our back, Carol,
Yeah,
Okay.
we're sending private little messages
I just
here.
need to check that spot before I send where it's going. And I didn't do it. So I don't know why it's set up to go to Nancy.
Oh, there, Nancy Solom said 9 a.m. Okay, good. Yeah, finding that time, I found, I really like it in the wintertime. I really liked my 6 o'clock. Well, we get up early, so it was 6 o'clock in the morning, and I would get up and do my devotions, and sometimes Ron claims I'm doing them for an hour because I just get caught up in it. It's like, oh my gosh. But I had to be. I'm pretty important about doing that. Sometimes I've been trying to I find it's second time, whoever said that. Oh, Nancy, Melby, you said you do one in the morning. Yeah, in the afternoon, it's like when everybody's quiet around here, it's like I can go sit out on the deck and do a devotion as well. I have another one that I do, and I kind of rotate back and forth. But finding that time is what's important, just that it's a regular time. And if you want to take a look, maybe look at chapter 1 in your book. You can kind of see how they're structured. So it starts on page 33. There's always a scripture reflection at the beginning. There's a title. This is like the topic of what you're going to be talking about today. And then there's a scripture reflection. And then they call it today's health challenge. And it's something that you need to think about to do. What are you going to do? You're going to something to actually think about. Okay, I'm going to take what I just learned here, and this is something I'm going to do. You're going to reflect on that. And then there's some additional study pieces that you can do. And then they call it today's confession, which is kind of a prayer. And then there's a space to do a reflection in the workbook. So every lesson is set out the same way. And you'll kind of get used to it as you're reading them. The reflection, I think, though, is probably the most important part. So I think there's some different ways that you can do a reflection. One of them might be the reflection in the book, like this one. You could just do it right in the book. I have a journal, and I know I've told some of you about this. I do this, my niece shared this idea with me. It's called a 2-year journal. And so the top half of the page is what's going on now. And then a year later, I'll go back and I'll do the bottom half of the page. And it's my prayer journal. So I might share in there, what's going on. Sometimes I write my, this was one from my, I don't know if you probably can't read it, but it says I lost 3.5 pounds this week, and I don't know, I have no clue how I did it. So this was a year ago, August. So it was like this little peep. And then sometimes I might, if I have a prayer concern about a friend or a child or whatever, I'll write that in there. And then the next year, I've found it has been so fascinating to read a year later something that I prayed about, and how God has answered those prayers. Not always the way I thought God, I thought they should be answered, but and then I'll go back and I'll take a different color pen and put a smiley face if it was something that showed a prayer that was answered. I have just been delighted to read this one. This was, I think August 20th was when I actually got down below 200 pounds. So it was like a big joy that I was, finally got out of that space. It was like a breakthrough finally. So you can write some things there. It could be reflections from what's in the journal, what's in the Bible study that you're doing.
A group that I've been involved with in the past, when you get below 200 pounds, it's called Wonderland. WONE.
Wonderland. I love it. Wonderland. That's great. So fun. So fun. So these are some ways. And then I did create a Facebook group that is just a community with other people. Let's see, I can't remember what I wrote on this. So Because like in the Weight Loss God's Way, the online version, it's kind of like a blog, and then there's a place to comment underneath it. And so she'll pose the question, whatever the question is, and then people will reflect on that, and you get to read what other people say, and then you can also respond, you can reply to them. I have found that's probably been one of the more meaningful pieces about it, is just having that ability to share. So I did create a group. I think everybody, Marilyn, are you on Facebook? I can't hear you. Are you muted?
There. Yeah, kind of. I'm going to write down the directions because I'm not on it enough to really know. I just get a few people. I never post anything, so.
Okay. Well,
Nancy, is that a closed group so that
yes.
if we are talking, we're only talking to us? Other
Yes,
people aren't seeing
yes.
it. That's
Yeah,
important for everybody to know, I think, that it's just a closed group. Okay.
Yeah, this is a closed group. So I'm going to show you, and I will put some directions. I can send you these directions too. I can even send you this whole PowerPoint if you want that. But if I go to my Facebook page, okay, I'm going to close my chat for a minute. Get this out of the way. So if I go to my Facebook page, and if you click on the F.
Oh, okay.
There's one thing that, and this works on your computer. I can't get it to work on my phone. So, but the F pretty much shows up all these things. So you can create a shortcut. So what you do is you go down, so you hit the F to begin with,
Okay.
then go to groups, and you're going to find the groups you're in. It'll be under this list down here that says groups you're in. Mine is up here because I created the group. So once you pull up the group, and this is what it looks like.
Is this the name of the group, Nancy?
Yeah. Yeah, the group is Weight Loss God's Way Book Study. But Marilyn, I have to invite you so that,
Okay.
so somehow you need to friend me. And
Okay.
I'm under Nancy Fagenstrom, and that's probably the easiest because there's several Nancy Markses.
Okay.
So I think if I, let me go to mine. So here's what it looks like.
Okay.
So if you friend me, and then I will send you a request.
Okay.
I think I've sent
So
it
if I have
already.
friended you, then will you send me a request?
Yeah, you should. Let me see where I am here.
Because I don't do Facebook either, really. So
yeah,
don't
I
ever
think
post
I already
anything.
sent you an invitation, Deb.
Yeah, I think so, and I accepted it. So then now what do I do?
So,
I go to
okay,
the
here's
F,
where we are.
the-
Let me go back. So when
Okay.
you open up Facebook, click on the F, then go down to groups on the left-hand side, and then you'll see one that says groups you're in, and it's called, so it's Weight Loss God's Way. You'll see it there.
Okay.
And then what I just noticed and figured out how to do it is if you click on more where these 3 dots are, you can pin it to your shortcut.
Oh.
So
That'll be
now, if I click on my F up here, and I just, like I think Audrey said, I don't, sometimes you can get into a wormhole with Facebook big time, right? So if you just click on the F now, it should show up under your shortcuts. And then you don't have to look at everything else. And so this is what it'll show up, it'll look like.
Okay.
So that's the picture that I have on there. So you'll know you're in the right place. And then I sent a link. Here's the post that I put on there about our Zoom meeting. So I will post the Zoom meeting in here too. So that gives you a place to, you'll find it.
Will the link be in there so we can go through the link there then too?
Yep. Yeah. See, I can
Okay.
just click on this link. Yep. If you click on
Okay.
this piece right here, that's the link.
Okay.
And
I just,
I wrote this one. And if you have a chance, I don't know if you had a chance to look at, but in March, I had written something in my thing and they asked me to write a little testimonial quote about it. So here was my success spotlight. I'm published on the web now.
I read it. It was very good.
Yeah, it was kind of fun to write it and see it. So it'll, whatever the post is. So I've set them up now. So whatever the question is that is in here, what it's called the today's health challenge, although the first day is not going to look like this one, but after that it will be. It'll show up here and you'll get a notice that it's there. So then you can go in and write. And I think what's nice is commenting on it. If you comment on it, then we get to see each other. You get to kind of hear what people are thinking and, what your struggles are. This is a, good place to share a struggle or comment on, what somebody else has written. But most of all, I think what it does is it really helps, helps by talking about it. This is how you're talking. I'm going to get my thing plugged in. And this certainly isn't required, but I do think it's just another way to be a part of the community. I've seen some really good things that have gone from some of the other groups that I've been a part of, and I think it makes a difference. Any questions about that, about the group? You'll also see it up in your notifications. If I post something, you'll get something up here that says, you'll get a comment, or you'll see that there was a new post in that group. And you can go there to do it. So these are your notifications that are up in here. Oops. Any questions about the Facebook group? And if you need these directions, I can email them to you. Would that be helpful? Do you want me to just email you the directions?
That would be helpful for me if you would.
Okay. Oops.
Thank you.
Nancy, I also, if I just type in Nancy Marks on the Facebook thing, this group also came up,
Oh,
at the
good.
top.
Okay.
So it was easy to get there that way too if somebody has a hard time. When I typed your name in, yours and this one came up under your name too.
Up in the search.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
that's how I found it the other day. So
Okay.
I thought,
Cool.
gosh, where is that?
All right. Yeah. Good.
And it might have been I went to your page and then found it from there or something, but I know that when I put your name in, that I attached it from there.
Yeah. I wonder if Sharon was trying to get on and I missed her. You hang on just a second. Let me see if I can find. Oh. There's Sharon. She's probably been waiting. Let's see if she's just, oh, oops. Didn't know anything. Okay, go back to my page here. So, let's see if she's on. Hi, Sharon. Sorry, you were in my waiting room and I didn't see you, didn't pop up for me. I don't see your video. Oh, here comes her audio. And I can touch base with you when we get through. So the last thing that I just wanted to share with you is that one of the things that she talks about a lot about is that it takes practice. I remember going to see Linda Redfern when she was my PT, and she said, I can't remember how many repetitions it takes to do something, to learn, especially to unlearn a bad habit, but to learn a new habit, it takes a lot of practice, a lot of times practicing. And So one of the small steps that you can take is to choose one of these habits to work on for the next 21 days. And only one, just choose one. So the first one could be commit to not eating between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. Snacking was really my downfall. That's the first one that I chose when I did it. And what I really found was I had to have a replacement behavior for that time. And so I heard somebody say drinking water. That's when I started doing my quilting in the evenings. It seems like if my hands are busy, then then I'm not snacking as much. So that was one way I've kind of solved it. And I pretty much done pretty well with not snacking. And I think that makes a huge difference. So that's one. Or you could commit to exercising every day for at least 15 minutes. I keep track of, I have a little chart that I keep track of how much, how many minutes I exercise. Today I'm going to tell you that we hiked 9 miles. I couldn't believe
Oh,
it was supposed to be 7, maybe 7, 6 or 7, but it turned out that this map was not exactly right. And it was like, oh my gosh. But I'll tell you what, I never could have done that even close to even partial of that a year ago. So gradually every day, I've been building up and doing those things. But just starting with 15 minutes is, and I remember when 15 minutes was really hard to do. So that's another option. Or the third option is to commit to tracking everything you eat on the MyFitnessPal app. And I found out here, let's see if I can do this. I want to share my, this is called MyFitnessPal. Oops, what am I doing here? I gotta go up and do screen mirroring.
I wanted to say that that's the one that I chose, was tracking my food. And today was the first day I tracked all of my food. And without snacking, I'm I'm 180 calories below what I should have in order to lose weight. So that means that I'm eating fairly well, and I can throw something sweet in there. Really small, like a bite of ice cream or something.
So the MyFitness, so this is I just found this. Isn't this cool? I can show you my iPhone. So if oops, it went to the wrong page, hold on. So if I go to MyFitnessPal, there are lots of things. So down here on the bottom, there's a diary. The progress, this is another option. You can monitor your weight. So you can put, so if I could go back up here, I can do my progress. Oh, I keep trying to do it on the computer, sorry. So I can actually do it from my starting weight. And you can see how, this is kind of how my weight loss has gone. And it says, oh, I've lost 48.2 pounds. And you can also put a picture in. So I don't know if you saw that first picture that I had on one of my first pages. This picture, this was one my granddaughter took of me, and I was really good at avoiding taking pictures. I was either had a child in my arms or I was hiding behind somebody else. I don't know if any of you, the rest of you, can relate to that. But this happened to be on her camera. And so I found that picture and I put it there and said, this is where I was. And so you can put the weight, your weight in here, and you can add a picture. I have what's called accountability partners, and we have agreed that on the first of the month, we're going to take a picture of ourselves. And so you can start to see that, what did you call them, Audrey?
Non-scale victories.
Non-scale victories, yep. So you can see kind of what they look like and how that goes. So that's one of the cool things, but that's not what they want you to think about here. They want you to put in your, so you can put in your food, and you can put in breakfast, and then pretty soon what'll happen is the things that you have on a regular basis, they'll just show up here. So I can actually multi-add, and I can add the egg that I had and the coffee with half and half. And the one, I guess the one thing that I cannot give up is Ron's bread, but I just have less of it. And we had a piece of ham with that today. So I can add that, and it'll tell me how many calories I had and how many carbs I had. So I can track my calories and my carbs. And it's I love the app. I use it on I use it on a daily basis. And you can set up, how many calories you want to do. But you don't really need to do that right now. All you really need to do is just track your food and just see what the calories are. Sometimes I was very surprised at what calories are. The other thing you can do with it is you can add a food, and you can, if you have a recipe like Carol, that you have a good recipe of something you really like, you can actually go in and go up to the plus up here, and you can add, you can create a recipe, and then if it's on the web, you can just import it, and then you can enter the ingredients here, and it'll figure out how many calories it is.
Wow.
So that one's pretty cool. So yesterday we made, I still have to say, I still have to make cookies with my grandchildren, because it's such a joy to do that with them. So yesterday we made cowboy cookies. So I put all the ingredients in, and I found out that one cookie has 164 calories in it and 22 grams of carbs, which is
Carbs. Wow.
quite a bit.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but I also, the other good part was I put Ron's bread in there, and Ron, he makes sourdough bread. His sourdough bread was 111 calories for a serving and 23 carbs. Still
Not much,
up there. But
not much difference in a piece of bread though that you buy at the store.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're 120 calories usually.
Yeah.
Or something.
So, but his bagels were really good. Or his bread is actually, if I make a whole serving, because he doesn't use a lot of sugar. He doesn't use a lot of, I mean, his slice of bread is only 8 carbs. I mean, 8 grams of carbs. So I think this, if you're trying to kind of monitor what you're eating, what I found was, if I had to write it down, I was almost less likely to eat it because I had to write it down.
Nancy, I've been doing Weight Watchers for years, and one of the proven facts is that you do write down and you do keep track of your food you eat. And even if you're eating over your points or under your points or something, the people that journaled and kept track of their food lost more weight. Just because the consciousness of being conscious of what you eat. And that becomes habit forming too, to not eat as much because you're writing it down,
Yeah.
Hey, Nancy, can you send me the recipe for the Greek stuffed tomatoes? Sounds really good.
Oh yeah. Well, we have this cookbook. I'll put a picture on it. We got this cookbook for Christmas, right? This is when all this stuff is going on, and it's a Mediterranean cookbook.
Wow.
And that's where like the Greek stuffed Greek stuffed tomatoes, the
Greek
sauteed
veggies.
chicken with tomato, zucchini, and something else.
Oh, yeah, that
the
looks
orzo
good.
with shrimp, feta, and lemon. Yeah. So yeah, it has some really good recipes. What I've kind of learned is, one of my big challenges is what that Ron started. He started losing weight faster than I did, and he doesn't need to lose weight. So we had to come up with some compromises. Like, you can go ahead and make your macaroni and those things, and I have to eat less. And I actually weigh less than Ron for the first time in I don't know, probably 30 years maybe.
Wow.
So, but
So
not
Nancy, could
Yeah.
you, on the website, could you list the name of that, or take a picture and put it on the website of the cookbook?
Yeah.
Please. And what was the app again? What was the name of the
It's
app?
called let me get out of here. Let's see if I can. It's called My Fitness Pal.
Pal. Okay.
My Fitness Pal.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, My Fitness Pal app. It looks like this.
Hey, Nance,
Yeah,
take a picture of the cover of your Mediterranean cookbook
I will.
and post it. Thank you.
And it does have like calories and all kinds of things in the back of it. Ron usually, I would say, he usually uses a lot less oil than they call for. He modifies it some, so even the recipes are, if you took them the way they were, but it's really, it was really good. Eric gave it to us for Christmas. It was pretty good. So you got 3 choices. Which one will you do? Track your food, not eat after 7, or exercise for 15 minutes? And choose one, and then, even if you have a little checkbox or something, just to see that you're doing it. So maybe write that into your, Valerie's first up there. She's not going to eat after 7. We'll put it in your chat.
Well, that's my choice as well, is to not eat after 7.
Okay. Audrey's using the fitness. Nancy's exercising. I think I've seen you and Al walking, right?
Yeah, and I already can't eat after 7 because of some stomach issues I have, so I'm already not doing that. It's easy to quit doing that when it's your health.
I know.
Well, not always.
Marilyn's going to exercise. Lori's going to either exercise. Okay, so pick one before tomorrow. Pray about it. Sharon, did Sharon get on? Did we ever see Sharon?
Yep, Sharon's on.
Yep, I see her right now.
Hi. I think
Sorry,
I'm on,
Sharon,
although
that I didn't see you were waiting in the waiting room.
I noticed that. That happens to me every time I run a meeting.
I should give you my my phone number so you can text me.
Yeah. I'm going to do the exercise too, but I don't have my book yet. I'm hoping it comes by tomorrow then.
Oh, good.
It was supposed to be here today, and we haven't gotten the mail because we just got home, but yeah, I don't have my book, but I'll try to get started tomorrow, hopefully.
Well, let me give you my phone number. Text me if you don't, and I'll send you a picture of the pages.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay, it's 406-396-5494.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. I can make a copy of the picture of it. So did everybody jump in? Yep. Carol said exercise. Nancy said exercise. There's some beautiful places. You know, Nancy and we have been walking like at the fort at Fort Missoula and at the regional park. We walked there all winter at the regional park because they plow the
They
sidewalk.
plow.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, we've gone there and walked too. We mostly just walk around our block.
Yeah, there's some beautiful places, or the DNRC over there, you know, off of Spurgeon. There's some great places to walk.
Yeah, Albert's got some bad knees, so we really have to stay on pavement. He gets in trouble if he walks out where it's unsteady.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I've got bad knees, so I have to change. My exercise of choice is walking, but I just have to like do a bicycle, or even an elliptical is better than walking for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
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 Well, all right. Well, so how are you feeling? Are you feeling like it's something you can do?
Yes.
Yes, I think it is.
Absolutely.
Well, I haven't seen any book or anything, so I don't know, but I do know it's always better for me to start on a Monday.
Well,
And
we're
I really
starting on a Thursday, so you'll just
And I really prefer to start once the summer is over and we're done traveling a little bit. But that's all right. I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
Well, you know, I think
Encouraging.
traveling is hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I've had my biggest ones is when we've gone camping or, you know, you have to really plan ahead.
Yeah.
How can you
So-
camp and not have a s'more, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I brought
Especially
the
if you-
chocolate bar, but forgot the marshmallows and graham cracker.
Oh, no.
I didn't eat the chocolate bar either.
We seem to always grab a bag of licorice when we get in the car also.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
that's traveling food,
Licorice.
red licorice.
Yep, red licorice.
Yep. It's car food.
I don't know. I feel like when I get in the car, someone hands me a license that says, eat whatever you want. The car is hard on me. And we have a little, pardon?
The thing is now we can't stop at a lot of gas stations because of the COVID, so we just need
Well,
to get
that's
in and
true.
go. Can't stop and get a candy bar every place.
Yep. Yep. That's right.
Just get
So
gas.
Sharon, are you traveling right now or?
Well, the thing is no, we're not doing any kind of international travel, but we have a little motorhome, and so we have that golf and go package that you probably saw on TV.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, we just got home from 3 days. We golfed in Harlowton and Lewistown and Livingston.
Oh,
And so we're not, you know, we're pretty COVID conscious. We're not going in anywhere. We don't go to restaurants. But we do take our little motorhome, so then we have our own bathroom and our own kitchen, and so
Right.
we're doing that kind of traveling, yes. And so we go out almost every week.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
well, I would say that one of the nice things about this Bible study piece is you can do it more than once. And you were here at the beginning, but it took me 40 days to do the 21-day challenge the first time. So
I think I read that you said that somewhere. That was what encouraged me to go ahead and jump in right now, because I thought, well, I probably won't get it done right on time.
Yeah,
but I can
and
at
it's
least get
okay.
started.
Yeah, in fact, I'm kind of interested. It'll be interesting to even do it again with you guys, just to, you know, just to do it just to think about, because there's always something. You always learn something new. So.
And I feel like we're in a place where I have been exercising before the COVID. I was swimming. I was in a water aerobics Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I did yoga Tuesday and Thursday, and then I tried to do something else. And so I really felt pretty good in March. And my knees were better. Everything was better. And I did pretty well through May, honestly. And then since May, I don't exercise regularly. I'm not nearly watching what I ate like I used to. So it's really kind of time to get back at it,
Yeah. Yeah.
even if it is August.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think we've all come to the conclusion now that the COVID's not going to go away, so we better get back to some type of normal
that's
instead of
right.
waiting
I
for it
agree
to
with
go
you.
away.
Yep, yep, for sure.
So is everybody feeling pretty good? Anybody have any questions or comments? Thoughts?
I'm just fine now.
I just have a question, Nancy,
Okay.
about the Facebook group.
I'm on
Are we
mute.
supposed to check in with that once a day?
Yeah,
I forgot.
there'll be a post every day and it'll be kind of it'll be the reflection from the book. So yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I
Okay.
just figured out how to schedule, so they'll actually go on at 4 o'clock in the morning, but I'm not really up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So just so you know, I just
Oh,
figured
okay.
out how to do that.
I am not getting up for your post.
Just in case you happen to not be able to sleep, it'll be there.
Don't be
Okay.
afraid to make comments, everybody, because it's just us that are on there, nobody
That's
else.
right. It's
So,
a private group.
know.
It's just us. So,
Okay,
yep.
sounds good.
And Sharon, I recorded this, so I will see if I can to figure out how to make sure I can I could
Okay.
put a recording. Maybe I could put the recording on there too, just so if you needed to, you could.
That sounds good. I'll go back and watch it. I
Okay,
like to watch it. In fact, I'm gonna have my husband watch it with me.
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right, now I'm gonna have some dinner. Because my first meeting was at 6:30 and we didn't get home real early, so we'll have some dinner and a little
There you
late, so it'll be a light dinner for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
All
Well,
right,
thank
thanks
you.
for doing this.
Thank you all. Let's close in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for this fun group of ladies who like to laugh and who are willing to try some new things or maybe try the same old things that they've been trying and but maybe with your help, Lord, it makes it easier. Be with us in the next week and be with us and help us share our thoughts and just support each other. Thank you, Lord. Amen.
Amen.
And
See you next week.
Right, good night,
Okay.
everyone.
See.
good night, everyone.
Thank you, Nancy.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Nancy, for
Bye.
giving up your time.
Yeah,
You're
thanks,
welcome.
Nancy.
Thanks, Nancy.
You are
Thank
all
you.
welcome.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Right.
night.
Good night.
all.